scores fluctuate. It's totally normal. And your performance fluctuates as well. It could be based on the idiosyncrasies of the question type you're dealing with that day, or the fact that you were tired or distracted or sick or other things were going on, whatever it may be. And if it's question 5 versus question 25, your performance may vary if you're tired or fresh. So that is all tied in with that. So it's normal. With tough games, like the multi-level games we were talking about, the solution, of course, is do a bunch like that, look at explanations if you can't crack it yourself, and then you'll be in a better position to attack a new one in the future. It's just familiarity and repetition is a big part of it. Mm-hmm. With the must be false question, so that's a common question I get actually about when you have negatively worded questions converting into positive. So must be false equals could be true except, for example, right? So that was the one you were asking about. So do I do that? The answer is yes. The reason I do that is that it's much easier for me and for the average person to think in positive terms than negative terms. So if you convert it, it might be easier for you to evaluate. And must be false equaling could be true except means you find the 4 that could be true, you eliminate them, and then whatever remains will be your answer. I was actually discussing one with a student earlier from test 59 in the logic game section. Question 23 was related to it was the last question of the section about cities like Los Angeles and New York and Toronto. And so the question stem there was about must be false. And we showed how converting it to could be true except makes it easier to tackle. It works like clockwork. And you talked about memorizing it. And yeah, you could memorize it, but I don't think about it as memorizing it with flashcards. It's more like you memorize it through familiarity, through exposing yourself to it a lot. And then initially you're actually reasoning through it. Like, what does must be false mean in practice? Well, it means that one of these must be false. The other 4 are not necessarily false. And if they're not necessarily false, it means they could be true. So 4 could be true. 1 cannot be true. So you can also frame it as must be false equals cannot be true. Which one of the following is impossible?